All right, time. Not really a lot to say about time, except there's one little tricky bit that you have to be aware of. So we have 60 seconds as 1 minute, then we have 60 minutes as 1 hour, and we have 24 hours is 1 day. And normally in our exams, we're dealing with seconds, minutes, and hours. So let's look at how we work with time. So, for example, if we want to convert 3 hours into minutes, we have 1 hour is 60 minutes. Times this by 3 to get 3 hours. Whatever we do here, do here. So 3 hours is 180 minutes. Straightforward. Similarly, going backwards, if we have 250 minutes and we want to convert that to hours, then we've got 60 minutes is 1 hour, 120 minutes is 2 hours, 180 minutes is 3 hours, 240 minutes is 4 hours. So we have 250, so we've got 4 hours. And we have 250 minus 240. There's 10 minutes left over. So that's really all there is to time. But you have to be aware and be careful with the 60 minutes. So a typical GCSE type problem would be something like this. A movie starts at 19:30 and ends at 20:45. How long in minutes is the movie? I use the colon here normally when I'm writing minutes. And I'll explain why as I go along. So how long in minutes is the movie? So the movie ends at 20:45. Minus 19:30 when it starts. 5 take away 0 is 5. 4 take away 3 is 1. 0 take away 9 we can't do. So take from here. 10 take away 9 is 1 and this is 0. So the movie is 1 hour and 15 minutes long, but the question says in minutes. So 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Plus 15 minutes, so we get 75 minutes. So that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is like this. Start off here, draw a line, and end here. So we're starting off at 19:30, and we're ending up at 20:45. If I add 30 minutes, I end up at 2000. And then from 20 to 20:45, I've added another 45 minutes. So I've got 30 plus 45 is 75 minutes. Both work. Sometimes this way is quicker. Whichever one you prefer, use it. Now let's do another one. Another typical question. A race starts at 09:30. The winner finishes at 11:11. How long in minutes did he take? Quite often in the GCSE exam, they don't put a colon in, they don't put a point. They just write 09:30 and 11:11. So how long in minutes did he take? Let's do it this way first. 09:30 start. To get to 10 o'clock, we've added 30 minutes. To get to 11 o'clock, we've added another 60 minutes. And to get to 11:11, we've added another 11 minutes. So we've got 30 plus 60 plus 11, and we end up with 101 minutes. Or if you prefer, you can do it this way. 11:11 minus 09:30. But you have to be careful here. Now, when I said earlier, I use a colon here. I like having the colon here because it reminds me that I'm dealing with time. So here, 11 minutes take away 30 minutes. I can't do it, so I take an hour from here. So this becomes 10 hours, and this becomes plus 60. So it becomes 71 minutes. 1 take away 0 is 1. 7 take away 3 is 4. 10 take away 9 is 1. So it takes 1 hour 41 minutes. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Plus 41 gives me exactly the same answer. 101 minutes. So I use the colon as just a reminder that I'm dealing with minutes. So that's a typical question. So another typical question would be something like this. Joe watches a play. It starts at 19:45 and lasts 1 hour 20 minutes. What time does it end? So straightforward, you've got 19:45 and here I'm adding 1 hour 20 minutes. Again, I use the colon. So we have 5 and 4 plus 2 is 6, so that is an hour. So I've got a 0 in here. Carry the hour forward. 9, 10, 11. 1 carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, so it ends at 21:05. And this method is the best for this type of question. There are loads of examples and interactive practice questions on effectiveeducation.online. Go along and do some practice. Right. The next type of thing we get is little stories where it says things like, In fact, let's look at one of the questions from effectiveeducation.online. So a typical exam type question. Lysandra leaves home at 9:20 a.m. to walk to the shop. She walks for 12 minutes when she meets her friend. What time does she meet her friend? So she leaves at 9:20, walks for 12 minutes, add these up, and we get 9:32 a.m. So in here, I would have my 32. The next part of the question says they chat for 24 minutes, then she continues to the shop. What time does she leave her friend? So 24 minutes. So we have to add 24 minutes here. We get 6, 5, 9. So 9:56 a.m. And that's the second part. And the last part, it takes another 21 minutes to reach the shop. What time does she arrive? So we're going to add 21 here. 6 and 1 is 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. But remember, we're dealing with hours, so we have to take the 6 off. So we'll get 1 left. So we've got 17 minutes here, and we carry the hour forward. 9 plus 1 is 10, so she arrives at 10:17 a.m. And it tells me I'm correct. It gives me a little tick. So I'd get full marks for this question. So this is typical, and this here is typically how you would do it. Show your working out for these questions. The other thing that comes up are timetables of buses and trains. Let's have a look at one of these. Again, this is a typical type of exam question. Here's part of a timetable. London Paddington to Swindon. How long in minutes does the 0708 from Paddington take to reach Swindon? So the 0708 is here. From Paddington to Swindon is 0758. So it's 0758 take away 0708. And we get here 50 minutes. So in here, I'd have 50 minutes. And it says already in minutes, so the answer is 50. How long in minutes does the 0720 from Paddington take to arrive at Swindon? So we've got this one here, the 0720 to Swindon. So 0816 subtract 0720. And again, I'm just going to put the colon in here. It just reminds me. So 60 minutes take away 20 minutes. I can't do it. So I take from the hours, this becomes 7, this becomes plus 60, so it becomes 76. 6 take away 0 is 6, 7 take away 2 is 5. And then here I've got a 0, so my answer is 56 minutes. So in here I've got 56 minutes. What is the difference in times taken by the two trains? So the difference here is 56 minutes, subtract 50 minutes, which is 6 minutes. Submit and finish. And again, I've got 3 ticks, telling me I'm correct. Now when you go along to effectiveeducation.online, you can simply request that it gives you another question the same type, and it refreshes it, but this time with different numbers, so you will have a different problem to solve. And you can do this as many times as you want, and then you can move on to the next question. Alright, that's all I'm going to do on time. Go along to effectiveeducation.online. Do the practice questions. Do as many as you need until you're comfortable. Move on. And by the time you're finished, you should be comfortable and confident about time in your GCSE exam. Thank you very much.